Have you ever felt that squeeze? That frustrating gap between doing the work, sending the invoice, and then actually getting paid. It's a problem that can bring even the most successful businesses to a screeching halt. But what if there was a way to pay your suppliers, your employees, and just keep everything moving, all without waiting for that cash to hit your bank account? Let's break down exactly how that's possible. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dig into the cash flow trap that plagues so many businesses. Then, we're going to explore a totally new way to pay, see it in action with a real-world example, and finally, we'll zoom out to see the really big picture. All right, first up, let's talk about a problem that pretty much every business owner knows all too well, the cash flow trap. Honestly, it's a vicious circle that can grind even the healthiest companies to a stop. I mean, really think about it. You sell a product, you do a service, you send out that invoice, feeling good, and then you just wait, right? Sometimes for weeks, sometimes even for months. And that delay, it creates this huge, messy chain reaction of problems. Let's make this real. Meet Georgie. He's a distributor. He sells milk products. Now, Georgie does his job perfectly. He gets the goods from the producer and he delivers them right to the retail stores. The stores sell them, but they pay him on their schedule, not his. And this is exactly where that trap snaps shut. Because Georgie is sitting there waiting for his cash. He can't pay his supplier, the producer. The producer, who's now also short on cash, well, they can't pay the transport company or maybe even their own employees. The flow of money just stops. The entire supply chain is frozen solid. But what if the solution isn't just about getting paid faster? What if it's a completely different way of thinking about debt and value and money itself? The old school way of trading without cash was barter. I'll give you a horse for your chicken. It was messy, the values were often unequal, and it was super risky. But a modern clearing platform, that's totally different. It acts more like a smart IOU network where value is equal and verifiable. Trades are flexible and the whole thing is secure. So what is this clearing thing anyway? Well, in the simplest terms, it's a system that lets businesses cancel out what they owe each other without having to move cash around for every single transaction. It's all about settling the final difference, not the huge total amount. And that little trick is the key to unlocking everything. Okay, that's the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's follow the money, or, in this case, the lack of money, through a real example. Let's watch how one single transaction unfolds. It all starts with a sale, then a small cash payment, and then a digital step that changes the whole game. It starts right here. Georgie sells 12,000 euros worth of milk products to a local retail store. Now, in the old model, he'd be sitting there waiting for that entire 12 grand to eventually show up. But with this new model, something very, very different happens. The store immediately pays Georgie his profit margin, let's say it's 20%, so 2,000 euros, in cash. Right away, he gets his profit. No waiting. So what about the other 10,000 euros, the actual cost of the goods? Well, it isn't paid in cash. Instead, it gets converted into a digital receivable on the platform. You can just think of it as a secure, transferable digital IOU that Georgie now holds in his hand. And this, right here, is where it all comes together. This little digital IOU is the key that unlocks the entire system. Get ready, because this is the aha moment. Remember how Georgie owed his supplier? Well, guess what? He doesn't need cash anymore. He just transfers that 10,000 euro digital receivable directly to the producer. And boom, instantly his debt is paid. The producer now holds that digital claim. So what's the producer's biggest cash headache? Paying their employees, right? So they use this new digital asset to give their staff an advance on their salary. It's an interest-free credit they can use right away. And get this, the producer hasn't spent a single euro of cash to do it. So where do the employees spend this digital credit? Well, they go shopping at the local retail store, the very same one where this whole thing started. They pay with a simple QR code on their phone. And just like that, that digital credit has come full circle, clearing the store's original debt. It's gone. And this isn't just some one-off magic trick. It's a network effect. The key here is that all these different debts can be offset against each other in minutes. The physical cash doesn't have to move all over the place. The value does. And it does it instantly. So what does this all mean when you zoom out? I mean, this isn't just about one distributor and one store. This is about building a faster, more stable, and way more resilient economy for everyone. So let's look at who wins here. The store? It slashes its need for cash. Our guy, Georgie, he gets his profit instantly. The producer? They can pay their biggest bills without touching their bank account. The employee gets a super flexible, interest-free advance. And the economy as a whole? Money, or rather value, moves at lightning speed. It's a system where everybody wins. I mean, the difference is just staggering when you see it laid out like this. In the old system, the store needed 12,000 euros in cash just to make this one deal happen. In the new model, only 2,000 in cash is needed to keep the entire chain moving forward. That is a massive amount of capital that's just unlocked. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. We're all taught to think of debt as a liability, right? It's a problem that needs to be solved. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? What if, in a connected system like this one, your debts could actually be transformed into your most powerful and flexible asset?